The Braw and the Brave.
Hello and welcome back to The Braw and the Brave with me, Lisa Kennedy, and of course she's going to say it. You need to be following the socials, guys. If you're not already following us on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram, then I would love it if you go and give us a wee share now. I think I'm popping up on the screen now, which is very exciting. And if you're not already subscribing, she'll be standing at the screen doing this. Please click that subscribe button because it totally means a lot. It's huge. Every time those numbers go up, I'm like, trust. So be that next person for me. And if you are on Patreon, or if you've never heard of Patreon, we are on Patreon and you can be a subscriber on Patreon, which massively helps me to be able to do this podcast. So thank you to Up Next Studios for making that all possible. And I would love it if you come and follow us on the socials. But I'm going to stop waffling because I'm very excited. Oh, it's actually happening that we have the amazing makeup and hair designer, Nicole Tulloch, and costume designer, Carole Millar on the podcast. Yay! Listen. What has been no mean feat to try and get, well, certainly this yin here on the podcast. And she's brought her amazing emotional support blanket. That's Carole. This is like the dream team. I'm so chuffed you are both here. Thank you so much.
So happy to be here.
Oh, it's such a joy. Like the two of you just came in, and so you said it about Nicole, but I felt it when you came in the room.
Okay.
The energy just lifted, shifted, like the both of you, and it makes sense that you are a partnership in terms of like friendship and working together. Dream team, yes?
Yes.
Total
dream
work
team.
wife.
Yeah, work wife.
I know, I love how Carole, you had the peppermint tea bags because Nicole came in and was like, oh, I'd like a peppermint tea. Don't worry about it, Nicole.
They're in my bag.
Wrapped in tinfoil for some reason.
So is this a recent working relationship or has this been a long-standing?
No, well, it's been over 15 years.
Wow.
More than that,
Yeah. But working, so before I was designing, I was working with another designer, because you start off your career like that, obviously, before you build up or climb up the ladder. So we were working together then, like, so it's been, maybe more than 15 years. And
just
then,
in a different capacity, like as you were makeup artist.
Yeah. So colleagues, but not getting to collaborate at that point or anything. That wasn't my role to do that. So, but friends, because you become friends with everyone. It doesn't really matter of your position in TV. Like you're just, if you meet pals, you meet pals.
Of course.
And then in the last probably 10 years, 8 or 10 years, we've been working together more than as designers together. So
and those bonds and those, because you're in it, like you're in the trenches, and like I guess working in film and TV predominantly, and we'll get into it, but I'm guessing a lot of people, there's lots of myths to be busted. Like people will be saying, oh, it's dead glamorous, and you're like, is it?
Yeah, exactly.
Long shoots and especially on location, I guess, and all weathers.
In Scotland.
In Scotland, aye, guys, what's happening?
Like it's so not glamorous. I mean, we get some little bits of glamour,
yes.
so you want to hold on to them.
Yes.
But most of it, you're like in wet weather gear, up a hill, soaked to the skin, and you've got to then have that camaraderie and like friendships, because otherwise it would be a really hard, dull, boring day standing for maybe 12 hours, out in all the elements. So you do all become a team and family because you have to. But,
And quickly as well.
Really quick.
You're thrown together.
Of course.
You've got a certain type of personality. It's just like a big family, isn't it?
Yeah. And really quick, other friends who don't work in this industry, they always are quite surprised if I say the things we talk about, or, because we talk about everything,
Yes.
especially if you're on a set and you might be sitting around the monitors and the chat could just be like so random.
Yes.
Or very intense or whatever.
Of course.
But you become familiar, and that's with your cast as well. You just become familiar quite quickly because you need that support.
It's a trust
from
element
each
as
other.
well, isn't
Yeah.
it? Because people are putting their trust in you to do a great job, and they are maybe feeling vulnerable, like the actors or whatever, they've got their job to do. So when they come and sit in your chair or come to your space and you're entrusted with making them look or feel great for whatever job they've got to do, that's a huge responsibility.
So that is a big part of our job, is to make sure we are turning people out onto set feeling the right way for whatever the scene is. You're doing comedy, you're doing some hard hitting drama, like with with Half Man, some of the scenes are really intense, so you've got to gauge whether that actor is getting into that frame of mind, and you've got to just like hold back the chat, or maybe they'll come to you and they'll want to chat, they'll maybe want to switch off, or so you've got to kind of like read.
That's
the
such important work actually, because probably you're one of the last people that they see before they're stepping on to do that job. I like how you just pure like that dropped in there, Half Man. How cool!
Oh yeah, what job?
How cool! I literally was watching it last night. Oh my god, it's so good.
It too.
I'm on episode 2 of series 1. Like, wow,
It's insane.
wow.
I mean, it's like
what a piece to work on. So. Tell us all. I mean, literally the two of you have just come back from Cannes Film Festival.
yeah.
Check yours out. You're like,
that
not
was.
that
I've got to
glamorous, we're
say,
up hills
when
and
you're
all that.
saying like the glamour, that was very glamorous.
That was
like
it.
that was us. Like we deserved it.
Yes,
Then be like
we
after
kept literally
all the
pinching
years,
each
not even after that job, after all these years to then be in Cannes. It was so gorgeous and glam, and we kept going, what are we doing here? Like they're going to chuck us out any minute.
Yeah,
you know, you were
we're
really
gonna get
we were.
on the shoulder.
Yeah, they were
Proper
like, were you born in
imposter
Paisley?
syndrome.
Right, away. Wasn't it? We were so imposter syndrome, like so, and we
It's
were
so
like,
deserved to be there because that is the village that it takes to make
Yeah.
something like that,
Yeah.
like a series like that. You know,
Yeah.
I
But
can't
they were
imagine.
doing a photo of the two of us in front of the board thing, and we were like that.
like just hold the hands. Like, what do you want us to do? Where do we look? Oh my god, this is awful. Like, oh, it's like
But when I was watching it last night, I was thinking, what a brilliant piece to get your teeth stuck into, in terms of, because it flips in time, not to give any spoiler alerts, but like, you know, it starts, you know, kind of nowadays and then jumps back in time. And so then I was just thinking from your perspective in terms of getting that periodically
So
correct,
much
like,
fun.
aye.
So the research, I think if you go online and look at research, you're getting elements of that period, but you're getting the kind of highlighted edits. So
Yes,
what
okay.
I did was I got photographs from family and friends, your family. I got photographs from real people. And so I looked at the costume, and they're not as obvious.
I bet.
And it's much nicer. It's much more realistic. So the research was so much fun. So there's tons and tons of mood boards and drawing boards and photographs from real people, and that's where I drew from, rather than that whole fashion music aspect.
I guess people don't even begin to appreciate the work that goes on behind the scenes before you even step on to set like that. Research, like you're saying, that you're both tasked with this job and all these characters and all these scenarios and scenes and time periods where...
Yeah.
And
it's not just how people looked, it's how those people looked. That socio-economic background, that lifestyle, like who they are. It's not the fashion, it's what those people were wearing, and
it's
that's
all
really
their
important.
backgrounds, isn't it? We had to think, you know, it's the west of Scotland. It's based in the west of Scotland, and in that time, and you know, as you say about economic factors, and just, and even like just talking to family members. So we did that quite a lot, didn't we? Like, so the prep for us was where we really we'd obviously worked together a lot. But the prep on Half Man was really special, wasn't it? We just worked so closely together. We'd never been in a job that with anyone who and worked that way.
We were in the same room. Normally costume and makeup are in different spaces.
okay.
We were
And at the time, we're like,
You
oh,
talk
this
to each
might,
other. Yeah.
it might be, oh, this might be annoying. We're all going to be in the same room. There's a lot going on, and then it was the best thing that could have ever happened.
That's
It was
interesting.
really
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
and as you say, like I was getting photos from family members. You were. I was getting like I even put a shout out to like old, like my sisters, like she's older than me, so like all her kind of old school friends to be like, right, what age? Because they were all that age in the 80s at school. So it was like, we need to see proper, like, you know, high school photographs if we can, because that's when the boys are in high school when we start.
Some of those hairstyles.
And some, and again,
It's
when
what
you
older
say,
people have now.
Yeah.
It was what kids had, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
like
It
so,
was
it's like
amazing.
really quite old fashioned, you know, the girls and the boys, but teenagers looked so much older than they were.
Yeah, you're right
you
enough.
know, because in a weird way.
You do look
in a
back at
weird
pictures
way.
and you're like, what age are you there, mum? And you're like 16. You're like, what?
You're like, what? 16? You know, you look like 30.
together.
Like that. You're off to work. Like,
Totally.
And when we moved into the university life, then we could bring in Ep2 as far as we can talk about, isn't it? When we moved into that, then you're bringing in people from different backgrounds. So then you've got more fun with the costume, hair and makeup.
Of course.
Because you're wanting to bring the world, you're wanting to widen.
That's so
And so
interesting.
you've got your French character, you've got your, your kind of
From
middle
down
class
south.
totally,
character.
like, sorry, I don't even think I've made it obvious enough. Like, you've totally nailed it. What a job you have done.
Thank you. It's
beautiful.
hard. It was really hard.
I totally was
really,
watching
really
it with
hard.
like new appreciation just because I knew you were coming on. Like I went in with that mindset of like pay attention. It's so clever.
Yeah.
Like so cleverly done. Like the attention to detail is perfection.
Okay.
Was that Motherwell Civic that you were
Yes.
shooting in? I was like,
Yes.
as soon as I was like, that's where my dancing shows were. As soon as they come up on the screen, I was like, I know that.
No, it's
That's
funny when
wild.
that happens. You're like, oh, that's that place. Like,
You're so clever. Again, like that's obviously another side of things, but all that's got to marry up.
Yeah.
So I guess they're coming to you with a concept and ideas and their inspiration, but then you're tasked with this huge job of getting it right.
Yeah.
And we've got a brilliant team. So like for the clubs, the student union scenes, we've got tons of essays, and we've got a brilliant team, like a crowd coordinators and all the rest of it. And we're all working on sourcing these costumes, these boards. We're really thinking about who everyone is, and then we shoot it all, and you don't see half of these amazing looks that we've
and
come
it's
up
quite
with.
heartbreaking. You
It's
go,
quite
oh,
heartbreaking.
you didn't see them, or that bit's been cut, or
Wow.
Yeah.
you know, because you get attached.
Of course
do,
you
and
do,
especially
yeah,
if
'cause
there's
you're
like a really
invested,
good
you
look.
love what you do, you want to nail it.
Yeah.
And I think like both of you, from your perspective, it's completely different than working in the industry in terms of hair and makeup for glam, for
Yeah, so different.
You know, completely
Totally
different. And then like styling if you worked for a fashion house, or it's just
Yeah.
wild. It's two different worlds.
So
It was
different.
always your goal to work in film and TV. Is that the worlds
Yeah,
you wanted
yeah,
to work in?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Like, my brother's actually a camera operator, so it's
Okay,
kind of
so that's the world,
maybe I
you
got
know.
it from him. I don't know. But I definitely did. Like, I was actually thinking of textile design. I was thinking of going to do textile design.
Wow.
I was actually looking into religious studies. Weird. Like, what was I going to do with that? I don't know. And
Love
then
to see that universe.
yeah. What would that be like?
The cult of Nicole.
Listen, I'd be in bed.
Come
I'd
to
be
my
in there.
cult.
I'd be there.
Besides,
I'm setting up.
I'll still make you look
There
good.
definitely would be some leopard print in there for sure. Yeah. But don't need to wear leopard print and denim.
Like, have a wee dance moves, maybe.
Yes.
A wee dance routine.
I'm
Like. So yeah, and then I watched Mary Shelley's Frankenstein,
Yes.
like Robert De Niro, and like my brother had that, and like I watched it, and maybe I was 15 or something, and I was like, oh, and I don't know why that film. We were quite a film family. Like, we always, like, with my brother and sister are a lot older than me, and my mum and dad were just very, like, pop culture, like music and films were always on, like, in the house. And so I don't know about why this one, but it just made me go, oh, the makeup's really good, isn't it? There's like, why don't you do that as a job? And kind of just clicked, something clicked, and I went,
wild.
I'd like to do that. Because it was still artistic, you know, art was
Yes,
like my
of
subject
course.
at school that I kind of only enjoyed that in English and religious studies. Weird. Weird.
Thank God for the universal film and TV that you picked.
Buddhism was the side I really liked. Anyway, I'm not a Buddhist, but like, and then seeing that, yeah, you can go and do it as a course, and it's not, and it is just for like film and TV. So you don't have to kind of go, you know, a lot of people would get confused. They go, oh, you're a beauty therapist, like family would, and you're like, no. Makeup, like now if you say makeup artist, it's fine.
Yes.
Like, but like 24 years ago, you know, they were like, makeup artist, like what? Yeah, I remember my uncle saying to me, and I remind him of this quite
okay.
often, him saying, oh, what are you going to do with that? You're never going to have, like, what kind
All
of
the
job
time.
is that? What kind of career is that?
they could
Like,
see
I
me
really
now.
remember him saying it. He was like, I mean, makeup, oh, you know, and every so often I put it, like, we've got our family WhatsApp, and I'm like, remember Uncle Billy, you said this is
Here
me
I
in
am
New York.
totally. Rubbing shoulders with the
Yeah.
stars.
And he's like, yes, point taken. I'm like, I'll never let him live it down.
But like such a probably quite a bold choice to go after something like that. I would imagine, like, just because I'm like, well, I'm thinking like I'm similar ages to you, like working in the arts, working in that, like that did seem like a bit of a Mickey Mouse job to a lot of people at the time. What was your experience, Carole?
So it's still seen as that. That's a bit of a bugbear of mine, is how children, especially working class children, aren't aware that this is something they can do. They think this is something someone else does. And I have tried to get this into schools as part of career fairs.
Yes.
I've said to the school my kids go to, I've said, I can bring you camera people, sound people, I can bring you everything. We could do a career stand, and kids don't know, and it's always just dismissed. It's still seen as a Mickey Mouse career,
and because I feel like that in theatre, where young people you're working with in youth theatre, and they maybe don't see themselves as becoming a famous actor. That feels like, and I'm like, oh no, but like, it does take a village to run a show, and like when we do shows, we very much introduce them to the team. We're like, and this is a tech team, and this person will put your microphone on, and this person will be controlling the lights, and look at these really cool lights, because that's somebody's job, by the way, and they get paid to do that, and they learn how to do it, and it's dead interesting. And if you stepped on that stage and there was no lights, nobody would see you. It doesn't matter how good an actor you are, and it's all those things. Do you know what I mean? But like, I think it is like, it's just marrying that up of going, I could do that. Could I do that?
Yes,
that's a real thing.
Yeah, I'm really passionate about it. I really want.
That's great. I'm glad to hear that.
And I just feel
important.
The Scottish Government have started. They're bringing it into school. They're bringing it as part of the curriculum.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah.
But it's a big industry. It brings a lot of money to Scotland.
Absolutely.
And we need to.
You think of all the stuff that gets filmed here, that the Glasgow and surrounding areas are like chosen as, and we've got film sets popping up left, right, and centre. Like, and you like think the amount of people that work on something like Half Man, I can't even imagine, into the hundreds, thousands.
Yeah, well, I mean, actually, it's funny because it's not as big as, say, there's other, like, Buccaneers, which is a big Apple TV period drama that's got, it's massive, the amount of team on that. So we were still quite small for what we had to do.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Even though it's become huge and it's a big, it's on HBO and everything, we knew that, but it was still low budget, really, in a way. Like, it was all, we were still challenged with budgets, and teams small. We would have liked to have had more people help us and work out. And so it's funny sometimes the things that become huge hits.
You're like, there was only
and you might go, actually, there wasn't as many. I mean, there was still like probably 100 people or something. And everyone behind the scenes and things as well, but not as huge. And I think that actually helps sometimes in a piece like that, because it is very intense. It's really intimate, when we're on set. You don't want, the bigger the set is, you lose that. So we were in like a little house in Cumbernauld, like a tiny one, to do like the kitchen scene. I mean, it was the smallest house, and for all of us to be in it, not a small house in general, but for a film crew to be in. And so like our director, both directors, Alex and Eshref, found it really hard to shoot in because it was tiny, and we've all got to be there, because you've got to be watching the monitor. So you'd kind of have to go, right, one of us can only go in, like, so one costume, one makeup, and if it's not your character on screen, you would maybe swap. But with that, you've got to keep, because you want to keep the feel of the scene and
integrity of it, kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think anyway that helps. I think I'm very like not strict, but I'm quite like, if it is a scene like that and people are maybe laughing or like, and because we are so close with the cast,
so invested in
we're
it.
so invested, and you're looking after them, not just as the story, but as the actor as well. And that they're maybe nervous, and that they really need to get in this scene. So if people are a bit chatty, there's times that I'll go, please, can you just not chat? And it's not my job to say that.
Good on you.
And I always say, I'm sorry, I'm not being that person, but like, they're trying to get in the zone so hard.
It's not like a light bulb thing. That's what I find fascinating, because I don't work with camera, like, and actors for screen. Like, it's mostly stuff in theatres. And, and there's a process, and we're eking it out. And whereas when I've spoke on the podcast to actors who do predominantly like stuff for screen, and it is that they get the script or whatever, and then they just turn up, and then it's like, and we're not doing it in order, by the way. And I'm like, that's wild. And I guess for you, because I was even thinking when you were talking there, the continuity of things.
Yeah.
So like you're always watching because like if something's out of place or something's not right, or we change that to the left hand or whatever, like that's what these film buffs look out for, don't they? They make like a
and that's why
YouTube video of all
that's
the
why you always
blunders.
say, you might go, somebody, like even sometimes, you know, director, somebody might go, it's fine, nobody will notice it, and you're like, they will.
They will.
They
And
will.
they'll make a YouTube
Because
video
you
about it.
have all these ones that are watching it like that, and they're like, oh, look, there's a mistake, yes. You know, but a lot of times as well, you've got to like understand, like when we're watching other things as well, it'll be a take that you have said, oh, can we not use that one because their hair moved, like something, or their collar, like it won't match the one before. But if that's a performance they like in the edit, they're probably going to go with that. So then we'll watch it going, oh my God. And it's the worst.
So when we go to screenings, the first time we see when we see something for the first time, we're not following the story. We're just looking at. So I don't enjoy anything until the second or sometimes the third viewing.
Of course.
Yeah.
And then I go, oh, this is great.
Yeah, you can't because you're just looking for any little mistake.
I love that attention to detail though. Like it's an art form.
Yeah.
It's such an art form. The work that you do, like it's so important. And when you do get it right, then you produce something like Half Man. Do you know what I mean? And then I mean we're talking about that exclusively just now, but like the career trajectory. So can you remember one of the very first jobs that you felt like was like a bit of a turning point in your careers for you? However that feels like, however that means for you in terms of a turning point. But there was a job that you went, okay, this is another step.
Yeah, mine was Sweet 16. It was Ken Loach. Like I was really at the very start of my career, and I got this call to meet Ken for a chat. Wow. That was enough for me. I didn't even need the job. I was just like, he was a hero of mine.
Of course.
And so I was happy just to meet him for coffee. I didn't need to get the job. So when I got the job,
But
I
you
nearly
did.
passed out. I'm like, wow, really? And I think it is because, I don't know why. I think it was maybe because of my background and because of my knowledge of the west of Scotland and growing up in a working class area and all that. I think that maybe was what swung it. Yeah. But that was a real pinch myself and go, gosh, this is quite an opportunity.
At the time when you were working on it, you were like, this is, I mean, obviously it's Ken Loach, but you feel that energy of this is something quite
It felt
special.
good. Like Martin Compston it was brilliant.
Yeah,
I was like, this is just watching him at that stage when he was still at a point in his life where he's deciding whether to play for Morton professional football or to become an actor.
Jeez, oh,
He just went along to the audition with someone else just to chum them.
wow.
And
That's
someone
wild,
the
isn't it?
casting director saw him and went, you should, let's have a chat.
Gosh,
He's
yeah.
an actor. He was brilliant.
But it's that openness to saying, and because you said it when you came in about saying yes
Say yes to
to
things.
things.
Uh-huh.
So has that always been your like kind
No,
of
it's
jam?
it's very recent.
Okay.
But and then I
Nicole's
keep,
like,
but I
Very
keep,
positive
recent.
influence
It's like
here?
our new. No, I think you're more the positive.
but I keep slipping though, and then I'll say no, and then like this morning I'm phoning you because I turned down an opportunity that I shouldn't have, and I'm like, Nicole, why did I say no? And so I keep falling off and then coming back on it. But every time I say yes to things, and even though it's scary,
Yeah.
once it settles down, it was right to say yes. Always say yes to things.
Well, I'm so glad you both said yes to this. That's
Took a while, but we did it.
Having a
Like
lovely time. I'm not sure you are both saying that you're glad that you said yes, but I am. God, that's so... And because you're self-employed, you're working for yourself. Like that, again, that's a huge yes to say yes to that, because it probably would have been quite comfortable for both of yous in your realms to maybe go down a safer route. Do you know what I mean? Because the skill set that you both have, you could have just been like, well, actually, yeah, that would be exciting in the telly and film and all that. But actually, the reality is, I'm the one that's finding the work. Do you know what I mean? I've got to make it happen. Like, I've got to go to that meeting with Ken Loach and pull it out of the bag. Do you know what I mean? And nail the job and get it. And it's, and then you've got to do the job.
Yeah.
Once you get it, you're like, oh no, I've said yes, that's not actually doing a good job.
Yeah.
What's your turning point, Nicole?
I mean, I think even just like my very first job. So I'd like left college, and it was like within 2 weeks I got a job on River City.
Nice.
where a lot of
one.
people started off, and
Yes.
and we have to, and sadly it's finished, and it's really quite heartbreaking for a lot of us. Like,
really
I've not
is.
worked on it for like 20 years, but it's still, we are so many.
So special.
We learned so much. It was such a great training ground. And I remember, like, so yeah, being on it, I had my 21st birthday on it. Like, now when I think, I'm like, oh my God, I was so young when I was there. But and I remember doing, I mean, this is quite a funny story. I don't think it's a turning point, but because it was my first job. But Stephen Dennis, who was Paul Robinson in
Yeah,
Neighbours.
Neighbours.
No way.
So obviously being like, 80s, 90s kids, like Neighbours was like your after school, that's all you did,
That's
was watch
it, yep.
Neighbours. Everybody watched Neighbours. And Paul Robinson, and I loved Kylie. I still love Kylie, or Charlene, Scott and Charlene. So like to have like, that's right, to have Paul Robinson, I was like, oh my God.
I've made it.
Oh my God,
Uh-huh.
I can't believe it. He's in my makeup chair.
He's
And,
like an icon,
I'm
isn't
just
he?
a wee lassie, and I'm like
A wee
just
lassie.
doing his makeup. I'm like, And I remember like, telling the family, and it was like, can you believe it?
That's wild.
Like Paul Robinson was in like there. So maybe not a turning point, but something I've actually always remembered, and it was on my very first job. So I suppose it's just got better since then. Like, I'm really lucky.
You say this.
Yeah.
These are both extremely.
You've got to put the hard work in, obviously, as well. But there is I do think there is a lot of luck as well. I don't know. I think it's such a
because
competitive
expertise and all that aside. Like, both of you, the energy is just pouring out you. Like, because you need good people, people that care. Like, I don't mean about the job because that's a given. Do you know what I mean? But people care about people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I think
that's the vibe I
that's
get. Like, obviously, I know Nicole, but like I already know that about you, and the fact that you're friends with Nicole, I'm like, well, you're good people. Do you know what I mean? Like, but that's important. Like, because what we were saying earlier on about that safety net, like you are that when somebody sits in your chair or somebody comes to get styled by you, or there is that vulnerability there. Like everybody's putting themselves out there to an extent on a film set, and you need good people to just care about the person first.
I think that's really like why I still do it, even like
the connection.
I love it. I love it.
So Nicole probably won't tell you this, so I'll just tell you this.
Go for it.
Nicole's truck's amazing. So she's got a board. It's beautifully decorated, and you go on, and there's nice smells, nice vibes. It's the place to go. And she's got this board that people write a little affirmation. Everybody takes a turn in the crew. Everybody to write a little affirmation or a thought for the day.
I love this.
We just started
It's
that in Half
so
Man actually.
good.
So I
That's so
started it going, like I really, thought about how do I want my truck to be, because it is, excuse me, it is the kind of, both costume truck and makeup truck. They're the heart of like the set, the base in the mornings, and especially makeup because the actors spend so much time on that. A lot of times their costumes are in their trailers for them. So, but we can't do that. They have to be in our chair for maybe an hour, maybe even more than that. So it's so important. It's like it's the top of my priorities. Is the vibe on the truck. It's got to be welcoming and friendly and just a safe place for my cast and for the team, and for any kind of crew member that maybe just wants to come on and like a wee visit. But for our cast, because that's my job. So it's to make them feel as safe and secure as possible. And when you get that feedback at the end of the job, for cast to tell you that that's how they felt, or it makes it all worthwhile.
Beautiful.
Like,
So
I
important.
probably cry when that happens because I cry very easily. So if somebody says something really nice at the end, I'm like, oh, I'm so glad because that's just all I wanted. And like, but it's like going back to whatever the scene is. If it's like a party scene, or you might be like, right, we'll put on some, like for Half Man, the club scenes were like, let's put on the 80s music. Like, what was the music then? So let's get the music on.
I love that. That's so
Because you've
cool.
got, even thinking about that, it's always thinking, right, what should we do? How can we get them kind of going? And
That's going the
get
extra
them
mile in it.
Yeah, and it helps to set them to where it helps
set the
to put
tone
them
of
where they
in
need
that
to
place
be.
before they leave the truck to go. So
Yeah, they're getting their money's worth out of used to, I'll tell you.
and then you might have a serious scene, there was a lot, and with Richard Gadd, obviously the creator on it.
I mean, what?
His head is like full of everything. He's like he's the writer, he's the executive producer, he's showrunner.
Actually,
He's acting.
Show running as well.
It's nuts. So and if it's a massive intense scene, he's in my chair, and I'm not going to have then music blaring or unless he wants that. But a lot of times it was just me and him, or with Jamie Bell in the truck, like, so we just try to keep it quite quiet or let them chat, and then we would all chat as well. But you kind of have to. You read the room. I have to read whatever person's in my chair. So it could be someone who's about to do something really intense, so you just want to say, and I'll encourage it. I will be like, let's just stay quiet. Let's just, like,
we don't need to talk.
We don't need to chat right now. Like, we don't, because a lot of times maybe they think the actor might need to chat to you because they're nervous even, and they think, I better chat because this is weird if we're quiet.
Yeah, that's okay.
And obviously I love to chat, but also you've got to appreciate whatever it is they are about to go and do.
Yeah, and they'll respect your work as well. Like, you don't get another go at this. No. This is it. So all the prep and all the work that you've done in advance, but then in the time and space that you have and locations and all the pressures of a set, whatever you're working on, you only have that X amount of time to nail it, to get it right.
Yeah.
Is there any jobs, like, along the way that you have felt like when you look back, you're like, I would do that differently, or I learned something really valuable that I've taken into every other job since?
That's a hard one.
Sorry,
because I think you learn from every single job you do. I don't think you ever finish one and then when you get to when it finally comes on and you get to watch it, there you go, nailed it. I don't think as creatives we ever think that. I don't.
You always do better, don't you?
Yeah, I think you always are going.
We've both got imposter syndrome, though, haven't we?
Like major.
But that probably keeps you in the excellence that you both are. Do you know what I mean? Because you always are striving to be that wee bit better.
Maybe.
Like, the perfection's not a destination. It's a.
I think we do.
It's a journey.
Like, we work so hard. To get it right.
Yeah, it's got to be right, and you've got to trust your team as well. Because it's not just you. You've got a team.
Do you get to collate those teams?
Yeah, you can.
That's exciting.
So that's good.
That's great. Yeah. So then
because you've got the people you trust and you've built relationships with over the years, and they know how you work. So they might watch something on the monitor, like this happens with me, like, and they might go, "I knew you wouldn't like that, so I went in." And they'd be like, "That Nicole hate that," like because they just know already.
Yes.
So and then if you have new people, kind of you have to get that can take years then to kind of develop that trust and relationship and just. But yeah, you're nothing without your team, are you? It is like
that village thing again.
Yeah,
it's like cliche, but it's true.
It's so true.
It's true.
Yeah. And with
but
all
to
of
head
us,
up those teams, that's a huge responsibility.
Yeah, I've the same people for a long time, and it's my sister is actually the costume supervisor. So it's really nice for me because we can communicate easily. We can tell each other anything. We can, the communication's really good.
Yeah, it just flows.
So, and she's a brilliant supervisor who also has imposter syndrome, but we work on that. But I think the team as well, you're insane, they know what you want, and I like things to look, and this is through working with Ken Loach, I like things to look slightly imperfect and slightly real. So Jacket's not going to do that. And there's maybe hook out, things like, things aren't right, things shouldn't be symmetrical and perfect. A necklace might go there, or so Shanna, one of my standbys, she knows to just knock things off slightly.
Love this.
And so working with the same people for years, they get to know what you like on screen, and
so
it gels.
You must be really, I guess, intuitive people about just being in real life, because I guess all of your stuff, regardless of the period of time that you're working in a film or TV programme, it is like about real life at that time, whatever that time is. Yep. So are you always watching?
I was about to say.
I was going to say that,
the world is so exciting because you're watching all the time, watching people all the time, everything. It's constant, and you want to take pictures of people all the time, but you can't because that's really rude. So you're trying to remember things you've seen. Like yesterday, I was walking around Glasgow, just seeing people and going, if I said to a director, I saw this person wearing this, and this, they'd go, no, we can't do that, it's too wild. And it's go, but that's actually happened. I saw it on Sucky Street.
Yeah, so you've seen it. And you can't switch off, can you? Like, when we were away, when we were in Cannes, which is very glam, but we were even like, you're looking, going, look at them.
And we were
them and, like-
comparing what France looks like to home, like the women and like the way they dress and the way they
And you're not meaning to do it. We were sitting having lunch, but you're
constant.
just always going, oh, look at her hair. Like, that's amazing what she's done there. And like, it's and
such
that's what
an
makes it
exciting
fun. You're
world
just,
to live in.
That's so cool. Because even when you were saying about the girl who's French and having like that, her vibe would be
Yes, so
different.
totally different, yeah.
So she was I was trying to make her look like she didn't overthink things. She loved a bit of
So her
vintage.
hairstyle was different to everybody
Yeah.
else's.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, one necklace, I'll put on another two. They don't match. They're different metals. It was all that kind of. I'm cold. I put this old cardigan on.
Yes.
Even though I've still got my hot pants on. It was just that kind of. She's French.
different confidence, different kind of, that unspoken kind of
Yeah.
sexiness, but without trying.
Yeah.
Whereas, the other character, like Joanna, is, totally west of Scotland, got her perm, like got her, her 80s perm, and like is very like, oh, this is what's in fashion, oh, this is like,
So true.
really pop music and all that.
Kylie.
Whereas, so, and actually we had pictures of Kylie as inspiration
Did
for
you?
that, for her.
It's fast. It's so interesting. It really is.
It's great fun.
It is, and actually, when you get to speak about it like this, it gives you like the butterflies again
that's
and the
nice to
passion,
hear.
because you go, we're so lucky what we get to do.
So lucky.
But like for you, because then you're always probably thinking about the next thing. You're in it, and it's like so intense, and that's all you're thinking about. And then you come out the other side of it, but then it's like, there's something else,
What's
isn't
next?
it? Or what is next? Does that feel normality now? Is that a safe zone, like of not sure what's happening? I'm okay with that, or is
We
I
know
think it's
what's
normal.
next.
It's like, yeah. Well, we luckily know that we have a job next, but you sometimes, you finish a job and you will be like, I don't know what I'm working on next. And your friends that don't work in that,
that's wild.
and you'll find that as well. They're
All
like,
the time.
what?
They're like,
You
I'm going to
can't-
do your, job.
like,
I'm going to
and
pay
they-
my bills with fresh hair. That's what I'm going to do.
But I wouldn't, it's all of it. As I say, I left school, went straight to college, started River City. I've never done anything else.
Yeah, so this is the norm for you.
This is the norm.
It's
I
not
don't
scary.
know. And some friends are like planners and they want to go, right, okay, see in a few months, can we plan this? And I'm like, I can't. That gives me anxiety. I need to just kind of live my life
I rolled them with the
weekly
punches
in a
wee
way,
bit.
which is weird. Even like for
yeah.
holidays, you're like, oh no, we always just book last minute because you never know. You're like,
do
you might be
not
working.
think that what's scary to them, this uncertainty, their certainty is what's scary to us.
Yeah,
I like
because then
you-
you're stuck.
knowing
like
what you're
that's-
going to be doing in the next 5 years. You're like,
Yeah.
what?
No,
That
No,
gives
thanks.
me the fear.
Yeah, that gives
like,
me the fear. So people are different, and that's that's what it
Yeah.
is.
which is
And have there been jobs that you're like, or directors or crews that you're like, I want that, and you've went after it? Okay. Carole's like, yes.
we manifest like crazy.
Really?
So this is
Is
another
that-
new thing. So with Carole
Okay,
saying that,
okay,
saying
I'm in.
yes to everything's a new thing. Manifestation is quite new as well.
It's working.
Okay.
It's working this year.
Who initiated this? Okay, right. So
I'm
this,
like that.
is
We all
this-
tip it.
Dr. Har, like,
Damn it, Ali. Is that something that's just in your wheelhouse? Like you just see it in your mind's eye and you make stuff happen?
I've done it on and off for years,
Okay.
and it usually works if you stick with it. I just recently worked with a producer who has manifested everything, and she reignited it in me. And within, I got really into it, and within that, just things started to happen straight away. I know it sounds.
No, I love it. No, I'm totally here for it. So, is there a particular job that you can tell us about that you're like, oh, I did manifest that?
Oh my goodness, I can't talk about it.
She's like, and I'm not allowed to say.
ever like those people you say, yeah, but we can't talk about it.
Oh,
like, you hate
how
that.
exciting.
But it's
Those people are
actually
like-
true. But it's not just like jobs; it's things and people and situations. It's like,
Did you
but
manifest the Braw and the Brief?
Did we manifest this maybe? Yeah, you probably did.
kind of, because I said to you, didn't I?
Yeah, I was like, she's been trying to get me on for years.
I said, "Have you seen this podcast? This is like amazing. This would be fun." And she said, "Oh, she's my friend. She's trying to be."
Well, Lisa's my friend.
You're
Okay.
like, why have you not been on then? Well, she's tried.
And then after a night in Berlinky, seeing the very fabulous dancer
After a
choreographer,
few,
we're like,
All things
Lisa, will
happen
we
in
come on your
Berlinky's.
podcast? Oh my God. The
Just
fear.
touting for business in Berlinky's for the Braw and the Brave.
Oh my God. And walking in here
Berlinky's
today.
was a Galentine's night, wasn't it?
Well, that was actually a night
us.
out with our production designer from
Yes.
Half Man, which was another really nice. It was the most like Half Man was the most challenging, hard, difficult job, but the most rewarding
Absolutely.
out of the success of it, but also just the friendships that we actually built. Like, so Emer, who's the amazing production designer on it, another HOD, like we all just really clung to each other, didn't we? We needed the support from the other HODs. So you have to work so closely with, art department, camera, lighting, everything, us. And that's the best part of it. That's the thing that, see when you all you're in a production
jigsaw
meeting,
in it.
everyone's saying their bit, and then it all comes together. You're like,
So exciting.
this is like,
If
this
you
is,
look at Emer's sets, they're incredible. You see the bedroom scene with the posters and everything, and the bed, and there's actually a bit in the wall where a wardrobe has been, but they've papered round it. If you go back and watch it, it's all that detail. So they've kind of papered round it, and then they've over the years they've got rid of the wardrobe, and you've just got this
so
bit of
cool.
paper.
and then she had, I'm sure she had to do so we could
wild.
take that wall out, obviously, so you can shoot in a different way and give more more space. So she's got to think like that. But that night out, was one that we were, a lot of times costume and makeup will work closely together, but you'll talk to the other
along the way, and I guess when you're building teams, then that's the people. They're great at their job, and that is that thing. But also, it's come back to that, can I work with them because you're so intensely
you want
working
the
with these
same
people.
passion, don't you? You really want the same passion in all departments, I think, as well, and that's coming out of it, and being a new friendship really with Emer, and respecting and what her job and what she brought to it, and because she's not on set, so even with Carole being costume designer, we're all HODs, but we work very differently, obviously. But I, as a makeup designer, you're on set most of the time, or I was on set every single day.
Okay.
Carole, as costume designer, doesn't really get to come on set. Might get to come and visit or be there for a scene, but there's so much to do on the truck for them. It's very different roles and how we work. So you might ask me, how did that go? How did that scene go?
Yeah, so you're trusting that that Nicole's going to give you,
and you have to then trust your team differently.
I've got
Whereas
my people on set.
I'm there on set, so I kind of get to make sure that vision that I really wanted, or that look, I'll be there, so I can
you
probably
need to be a bit more hands off and trust your team.
Yes,
Because
because I'm a wee prepping the next casting that are coming in, the next fittings, but I get the rushes every day, so I see. So the day after it's been shot, I get to watch it all to see what's happening. So I'll go, that costume works really well, so I'll pull that back, I'll bring that back, or maybe not use that again with that. So it's constantly
people's wardrobes, in real life,
so you're
there's maybe
designing
a capsule wardrobe, or maybe chuck something in the floor and wait the next day.
So
you
you're
want that.
doing
You want the real life
constantly.
from it,
But one of the lovely things about my job is all my costumes were established 2 weeks before we wrapped. So I had a mini wrap party to myself, and so that's me done. That's me kind of done. Don't tell producers that, because they'll try and cut
that
me.
bit.
She's still very busy.
But that is so I'll have a wee mini wrap party. You'll see my energy shift at one point in the job, and I'm
You're
like,
could
all
you
the
just hurry up, guys? I'm finished. I'm fine.
And I am so not there.
And TV and film different again from each other. In
Not
the sense
now.
that
Not so
much.
no,
Yeah.
okay.
If you look at Half Man, each episode, they could almost stand alone, and they look the quality is film quality, and
Yeah,
the
of
way we
course.
worked on it is the same as how I would work in a feature film for sure.
Yeah, I'm forgetting that's actually for telly. I feel as if it is.
It's incredible.
I'm classing that as a film in my head. Actually, that's interesting. I was just thinking of some River City where the turnaround is
that's so
quicker.
So a kind of
return
continuing
it to things.
soap or
Aye.
something like that is definitely different, because you don't get the time, and they're shooting 18, 19 pages a day. So we might even do there might be a day that we might do 4.
Just
Because it's say 2 massive scenes or something, or the one scene for the full day, or it could be a big scene and we're filming it over 2 days, but it's the one scene, and then obviously continuity. Then
I was just
you're
going to say how that's
because it has to be that next day they have to be exactly the same. There is no, it's got to be seamless. It's got to be, but doing something you know, a soap, then it's just more. But I think that's why when so many people like started off on River City, you learn your craft, like, and you learn to be quick and fast because it's all about time. Like our job is all, you're so tight for time always. You know, you see people like, or if you're getting to the red carpet event or something, you might get to do somebody and you've got 2 hours to do their
You're like,
makeup.
that's total luxury.
You know, you're like, this is gorgeous. Oh, I can do this liner. Like, I can take my time. You know, and it's so nice. But on telly, no way.
No.
Like, you have to do a full hair and makeup look in an hour or less, really. And that's hair and makeup. You know, that's both. Depending what the look is, obviously. But it's and then with costume time, so it's. Yeah, it's hard, and you've got So that's if I was telling people coming into it,
Yes.
you know, you would make that clear to be like, this is not your kind of makeup studio life that you maybe have so much time. You can really just, you know, really take time to get it right. Yeah, you want to get it right, but you need to be fast.
Go fast.
You need to be quick doing it.
And nail it first time.
Yeah,
And nail it
that's
again tomorrow.
that's what's stressful. That's what's stressful
bet.
about it, you know, because you're
It
like,
keeps you on your
oh my
toes all the
God, we're
time.
filming this, and sometimes you might see it on camera and go, like that scene, the rushes, go, that didn't really work. I didn't actually like it. Looked nice
In person.
in person. Something didn't quite work there, so I'm going to actually tweak it for the next scene that we see them or whatever in. Like, you can just tweak it maybe a little bit. So you're always thinking. You're never ever. I don't think you're ever
to be off.
content. Like,
But that's where the excellence comes. Because
in the
you're
drive, I
always-
suppose, it
Yeah,
keeps you
yeah,
going
absolutely.
each day because.
And are there jobs or even time periods or types of dramas or that it's like, I'd like to do that. I've not had that opportunity yet, and that's what I'm manifesting now.
I definitely like. I actually want. Well, I would love to do like a Mad Men type of series.
Oh,
That
yes.
would be that's like my
You'd be so
dream.
good
Like,
at
I'd
that.
love to do something
do that together. Make that happen.
60s. Yeah, like that whole look.
That'd be
I love
cool.
that series anyway, but something
me
like that
too.
I really would love.
You'd
Or
be so good at that.
yeah, just love the 60s. 60s is kind of my vibe and favourite era
Yeah.
in a way. So I've not had the chance to do that. So hopefully,
Okay.
maybe there might be something that happens in the future with that. But who knows? But
Carole, you-
So this is a weird manifestation story.
okay.
So I would love to do Afrofuturism.
Okay.
I was lucky enough to meet Ruthie Carter last year. She's like, she designed, Black Panther.
Right.
And she's the first black woman, Sinners. She's the first black woman to win 2 Oscars and an Emmy, and she's like,
Wow.
she's incredible. But she does these incredible costumes, and it's Black Panther's obviously Afrofuturism. And I remember thinking, oh, I'd love to do that. That's my dream job. That's it. That's what I'd love to do. And then there's a comic that comes out of Glasgow called Beats of War.
I know I've had Etienne on the podcast.
Have you?
Yes.
See, not long
What,
after I
what
said,
an absolute...
isn't he amazing?
Oh, he's phenomenal.
Have you seen his books? They're incredible.
I went to see his film premiere and like he's just
Oh wow!
what a
He's
human
brilliant.
being.
So I thought Afrofuturism, but that's never going to happen living in Glasgow. So Carole, he called me like about 2 weeks later, going, "I'm trying to turn Beats of War into a film,"
Amazing.
and I'm like, "I manifested this 2 weeks
Yeah,
ago."
that's
So we've
correct.
started.
That's so cool.
chatting.
I love Etienne.
I hope it happens.
Yeah,
hope it
that will
happens.
happen. That's going to happen. That's so
That
cool.
wasn't manifesting. I was saying I hope it happens. When that happens,
When
that
that'd be
happens.
amazing.
Growth mindset.
I know when that happens, it's very hard to get into that mindset.
that the struggle is really sometimes like that
yeah.
to keep the energy up, to keep the as much as it's all lovely and you clearly both love your job. Like I guess you were saying words of advice for somebody trying to get into the industry or thinking about or there are as many highlights. There's probably as many hurdles along the way. What has been your biggest hurdle? Not in a negative note, but what's the one that because you've overcome it because you're here and you're doing the thing that you love. But what's been the biggest hurdle, or what is the returning hurdle that you constantly have to get over in your industry?
Probably is mostly the not knowing when your next job is. You know, and that's like you're only as well, I remember someone saying this, and I suppose it is true. You're only as good as your last job, kind of thing. Like, and because it's so competitive. There's so many amazing makeup artists in Scotland. Thank goodness, because there's a lot of things getting filmed. So
And you're like, you can't do all the jobs, but it's just doing the jobs you want to do.
Crews up here are the best. So, it's true. It's
true.
actually a fact. Glasgow crews, the Scottish crews are the best. But as a hurdle, yeah, I think it's and for me, probably personally, is the whole imposter syndrome thing. Like the whole, even doing Instagram and,
Well, it's
kind of
even
being,
coming on this podcast, you're like,
doing
what
this.
did I talk about? And I'm like, kidding on.
It's
amazing.
awful. It's
could do
the
another 5
fear
hours.
that had come.
Exactly.
I know.
We've not even scratched the surface.
Fear coming in, you knew I was so nervous, but it's the what people think of you. That's
Yeah, we had this conversation. I think this was a Berlinkies conversation. It was maybe a Tron bar conversation at one
Probably
point.
a few times we've talked about it.
Aye.
Thing, what people think of you and why I don't. You're getting better, and you'll say you need to stop thinking like this, and like I think too much about
it's
it.
not your business what other people think of you.
And why? And it's terrible to have that saying like the haters are going to hate kind of thing anyway. That's not very positive to say that, but it's the reality.
It's true. You have to think of their reality of why they feel that way, and it's probably something within them that it's actually to be like, oh, actually, that's a shame that you feel that that's your only outlet is to say something negative about somebody else rather than going, well, good on them for trying, or like them putting themselves out there, because that's what you would say.
Yeah,
You're
and,
a good
I think
person.
especially women supporting women. I think that's how what we've felt so strongly from each other in the past year and a half.
Yeah.
Is that we've really supported each other, and
There was
during
a
the
lovely
shoot,
moment,
and then
you actually made me cry because she was in New York at the Half Man screening, and there's this gorgeous picture appears. It's like, I don't know what time it is in the UK. I'm up in the middle of the night, and there's this picture of Nicole in a gold dress, and it's a Getty Images picture. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And I was like, and I
Sick on that
I
red
sent
carpet,
it to
sick.
Nicole, and I went, look at you. And then before she'd even answered me, I'd posted it on my Instagram.
Yeah.
It's like, Nicole, makeup artist in New York. And then you said to me, I can't believe you did that. You supported me. And I'm like,
but it
well,
was actually
yeah.
such a big thing. I'm like, I can't believe you actually just posted that. Like to be.
You're like, she's my
I
pal.
was so proud of
Why
her.
should that be a big thing? That should be what we're all doing all the time.
Exactly.
Like, and you try and and most people are. I've got to say,
And
most
I think
people
it's
are.
sometimes you're
but-
just head down and you're doing your thing.
Yeah.
And it is good sometimes to lift your head up and go, do you know, champion other people do the
Yeah.
thing, like, because, and like when your pal's doing something, like, shout about it, because you'll shout about the influencer or whatever that you follow about, but not your pal who's actually bossing it out the back.
I think
Yeah.
that being silent about things is almost as bad as hating. I think that people just not
Bother to
saying
say.
anything and
Yeah.
going like Half Man's a huge deal to us,
It is a huge deal.
and we worked really hard and we're excited about it. But sometimes certain people don't say anything, and you're just like, I'm really happy. You're not happy.
Yeah, but it's important that you are championing each other, because that,
Yeah.
lead by
family
example and all
are
that,
great.
do you know what I mean?
And
Your
you've got-
families
yeah,
are great, aren't
yeah,
they? They're
yeah.
like, my mum, like,
Yeah.
tomorrow morning, episode 3, my mum will be watching
Up to
that.
watch it.
Yeah,
Like,
Up
yeah,
to watch
that's
it,
my
and then
love,
she
Mum.
messages me and goes, "Oh, that was I can't wait till next week."
That's the stuff that matters, eh?
Yes,
When
it
somebody
is.
you love and care for is like,
Yeah.
you're amazing, you're doing an amazing
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And is that the same kind of hurdle for you in terms of the kind of imposter syndrome, or is there another hurdle you feel like you've overcame, or that you keep meeting but you just have to keep
I'm
rising
getting
to it?
better at not really caring about what people think. I'm so much better at that now than I used to be. But I think having children was hard for me, because
Okay.
I remember somebody saying they had a job and they had me in mind, but I just had a baby, so they just... And I'm like...
You're like, is that
I'll
still a
decide-
thing? Is that still a thing?
I would have decided and I would have done it.
Correct.
I need to work more now because I have a mouth to feed.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. So I think, I've been meeting with producers and directors about jobs since then, and I don't mention I have kids. Oh, it's out there now. But they're grown up now, so it's fine. I can say it now. But when they were little, I would just keep it to myself. And naturally in conversation, I'd want to say, oh yeah, and then I'd go, no, don't say that.
Wow.
Because you're sitting here and you could lose your job if they're going to think childcare's an issue. I think we're a bit better now.
Definitely better now, yeah.
But that has been a massive hurdle, is hiding being a mum.
That's interesting.
But then you go and work with great companies like 16 Films, and it's like you work with companies like that, and it's like you actually talk about it. You talk about the juggle and the struggle. You talk about, and it's open. But there's some
there'll be
places
plenty
you just
of your male counterparts sort of within the industry that aren't getting asked
I've
that
just had a
question.
baby and then they're going to work.
Yeah, and you're like, well, it's my business to worry about how my wains are getting to school or getting fed. Don't you worry, I'll just come and do my job, Willa, and do it to the highest ability. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's the biggest
really
hurdle for sure.
But it is good. They're starting to do a lot of job sharing now, because this was always an industry. It wasn't.
Wasn't a thing.
Kind of no, it was never a thing. And you couldn't be part time. You couldn't be. There was never roles like that. If you were going to work in this industry, that was it. You were committed to it.
Yeah.
But now it's becoming like really. More common, and they're trying to make it more common, and they're trying to do more workshops about it and how will it work in your team, because it is hard, because it's not like a part-time job. Someone can just come in because of continuity, because of the continuity of that of whatever you're filming, but the actor's continuity, and if you've got then two people going to be looking after, and from makeup point of view, to do the makeup exactly the same. You think that's easy, but it's not, because we're all, nobody paints a picture the same way. And that's what it is, you are creating something, you are painting a picture. So that's what's hard, and that was always the thing that people would go, no, we can't do it. No, so you can't do this job because we need you full time. But now they're really trying to introduce that, and I think it's
the
a
prep, it's all the
positive.
stuff behind the scenes that goes on to make sure that continuity is there, that's possible, that people can job share and have other
and we
things
just have
in
to
their
be able
lives.
to make it work, because it's got to work for people, for everyone. It's because when you're on a job, it might be 6 months, 9 months, you are there like 14 hours, maybe longer, every single day. You don't have a life. Like, you don't see your don't see your friends.
No. So that's why you become these bonds then form.
Yeah.
Because the trust is there, and you are each other's family when you're there. Do you know what I mean? And then
because you see them every single day in those hours, so you become really close, and that's when you need good relationships. And obviously, you might have fallout, because that's fine.
Family's fallout.
Yeah, it's family, and but you have to just be open. And there's always got to be, it's okay. Come and tell me, what have I done wrong, or what am I annoying you with? Like, let's try and be open with each other, because otherwise, it's going to be a really hard shoot.
Yeah.
We also get counselling services now.
Yeah,
at work,
that's
which is
great.
It's amazing. It's free. We get
that's brilliant,
especially for jobs like Half Man, when you see things, you do the same take over and over and over again. It's traumatic.
I was just going to say, I'm thinking about what I witnessed last night.
Yes.
Seen that once.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's hard. So we have counselling, so you can phone and anytime set up with a counsellor, or you can speak to someone straight away to just kind of take that off you at the end of the day, or if there's any personal issues, or we're so supported now.
And this is really quite new, isn't it?
That's lovely to hear.
It's
Actually,
great.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's really that's so positive to hear that. That care and attention, because you're doing such important work.
And for cast as well, it's kind of open for crew and cast.
Yeah, so everybody's in it, the thick of it, aren't they? Yeah. With that common goal of making something beautiful.
Completely confidential. So the production don't run it. They've got this company
it's
that
like
come in, so they don't know if you phoned, or they don't know who's seeing the counsellor, who's using the counsellor. It's brilliant.
And then these beautiful friendships are formed. Yeah. And they come in the Braw and the Brave. I can't tell you, we could do this for another 3 hours.
We could definitely keep talking.
Yeah,
Like,
see, I told you.
I know, I told you.
Now you're going to be on the Wall of Fame.
Oh, wow.
And this is what I know. I genuinely mean this. What an honour. And to be doing this now, I feel like this is the right time the universe gives you. Do you know what I mean? But I'm glad you said yes now, and that you both said it together, because it just feels like such a moment for you. It's well done. You have totally smashed it out the park. I'm so excited to see the rest. And I know whatever you're going to do next I know you can't talk about it and all that, because it's pure
Who do you think we are? Oh, we can't talk about that next job.
I know them, right? I know them. Seeing your names go up the credits, I was like,
I know.
Pure sense of pride. Genuinely, when I was like, how cool's that?
You still
it was
do,
so
don't
weird
you? You still.
in Cannes
Oh yeah.
To see our name in Cannes. on this big the
huge,
famous
like the-
theatre.
That's so cool.
Thousands of people were in that.
Somebody talked
auditorium.
behind us and they went down to go to the toilet and we were like,
Oh, we were so mad. We were like
Did
that.
you just...
You were like, shut up. I mean, this is playing. What do you think you're doing?
Mum, it's coming out now. I did that.
Do you know that they're all here? And like, we worked on that, so you really need to shut up.
Look
and
at
not.
that now.
Oh, we were raging, weren't we?
pantomime people.
The pantomime, yeah, there was people dressed very much like a pantomime.
Oh, right.
So we didn't really take inspiration from it. When we were saying people watching me take inspiration, there was a certain crowd. Yeah, they were amazing to look at. We weren't really taking inspiration from them.
No photographs or something.
Although you say that.
Listen, the next
Who
one
knows?
you'll be like, we should have
You know that you'll put that.
The amount of people we know that have appeared on things and they don't know. Like,
That is so cool. I mean, I'm not saying that
Yeah.
you're taking inspiration from me to say, but I'm
Well,
probably
you know that
will.
just take a
hair.
mental snapshot, okay? I'm waiting for this hair to appear on the next blockbuster that both of you are going to work on. Girls, thank you so much. Like, what absolute, like, you're total goddesses. You're totally badass. They totally, you genuinely are. I'm so chuffed.
thanks for
Yeah,
having
I
us.
know,
I've
thank
had
you for
such
You're in
a
the
having
good
us.
clan.
time.
You're actually in the clan now. You're
We're in the clan, yes. Don't leave me hanging.
I'm coming in. I'm coming in.
What a
Nicole,
day.
Carole, thank you so much.
Thank you,
are
Lisa.
Braw and brave in like stratospheric realms, and just keep being yous because that's what's so special about yous both.
Just two wee lassies. That's what I keep saying. I keep going, how can I, when I was in New York and I was like, I'm flagging down a cab in Fifth Avenue to go and do my next makeup and I'm like,
Here she
who-
is.
like with my makeup kit and I'm like, who am I? Who am I?
And then you're on the phone to me going, Carole, I haven't eaten for 2 days.
I know. I hadn't eaten for that was actually really quite bad.
Like, this is the
But
behind
like,
the scenes. This is the reality.
yeah, that was like the
These
non-side.
cool girls.
But hey-ho,
Make sure she
it's all
eats
part
it.
of it. It's all part of it. It's all
Keep her on
like
the
I'm
straight and narrow.
Loads and Cam, we didn't stop
Yeah,
eating
Good,
Cam.
good to hear.
champagne and chips. That was it. Champagne and chips. Like,
Take the Carole out of
Made it,
Paisley.
you made it. Well, you
Sorry.
just need to come back on the next time to tell us
Okay,
more about
yeah,
your
we
adventures.
will.
Please do.
We will.
But, oh, loved it. I loved it. How good was that? Thank you so much for joining us on the Braw and the Brave. Be sure to follow the socials because these two are going to be all over them. And we'll see you next time for more of the Braw and the Brave. And we'll all wait for this lovely camera here.